Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to greet you and to thank you for being here today with us again on another of our uh, webinar. My name is Filip Ilic, and I'm an event manager at Fiscal Solutions. And as you know, today's topic will be Fiscal Cloud. But before we officially, let's say, open this webinar, and before we explain everything in detail, I would like to just say a few words about the company itself. I see some familiar faces, but I see some new faces, and I'm glad to see all of you. And many of you are familiar with our work, but there are also those who are maybe for the first time with us today. And so I think that it will be good to look back and explain briefly what the company does. So Fiscal Solutions is a leading software provider of fiscal solution and all related technical services tailored just for retail industry. With more than 100 successful fiscalization projects in over 27 countries, we make sure that our clients have excellent fiscal experience daily. We would like to say that our competence is based on combination of three highly specialized, but as you know, usually in practice, not necessary connected knowledges, and that would be legal, technical, and retail. Also, we provide consulting services. Many of you maybe are familiar with our workshops and with our portal. You can subscribe in our portal, and you will have the latest news about the fiscalization in more than 27 countries worldwide. We also have informations about the metaverse. So that being said, I would like to say that with over 20 years of experience, Fiscal Solutions can reasonably claim that with us, the fiscalization processes is simple, faster, and easier. And we always try to be innovative, to keep up with times, with trends, and to offer our clients the best possible solutions. As I mentioned, today we're going to talk about our latest solution, which is Fiscal Cloud, with which fiscalization is, of course, easier, simple, and all processes are faster and more efficient. But of course, my colleague, sales manager, who is also today with us, will explain everything in detail later. But before Danilo goes and explain everything in detail, I would like to say to all of you, you can ask questions, you can put your questions in chat box, and we will have time later to answer them, because today with us will also be our co-founder and board member Roland Zaliszewski, who will answer all of your questions. And if we do not have time and manage to answer all of them, don't you worry, because we will forward all the questions and the answers via email as soon as possible. So, as I mentioned, today with me is Danilo Krstonijevic, the sales manager in Fiscal Solution Company, and he will explain everything about Fiscal Cloud and answer all your questions. So, Danilo, thank you very much for joining us today, and as they say, the stage.
Off I go. Okay. Thank you, Philip, for the nice introduction. And it is first time I think we are doing a webinar together, so it's big honor for me, and I'm sure it won't be the last one that we are working together. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Hope you can see me and hear me well. So, like Philip mentioned, my name is Danilo, and I work at Fiscal Solution as a sales manager. I believe some of you might already know me, perhaps finding me a bit boring already, but what can we do? I'm here again. So today's topic is definitely a new innovative solution, Fiscal Cloud. And what you can expect from this, let's say, presentation is to find the detail, like Philip said, detailed information about our new solution. So to start, I will briefly introduce how fiscalization came up, Fiscal Solutions, came up with an idea of cloud solution, and why we are the ones who have implemented this technology and created the Fiscal Cloud solution. Throughout the presentation, I will touch on key aspects related to the cloud in general, and of course delve into the details about our solution. I will also try to, let's say, illustrate my words and information with a live example, so you can expect me to perform, let's say, a brief demo of our solution, so that you can clearly see what I'm talking about and witness whether I have been truthful or not during my presentation. So please pay close attention. I'll also touch on our Fiscal GPT, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. And additionally, I'll talk about, let's say, the change in our perspective regarding our clients and regarding how we now view them through our partner program. And like Philip said, definitely we'll leave some room for your questions, and feel free to ask any in the chat box during the webinar. With us is, of course, our technical guru Roland, so feel free to give him a couple questions as well. So let's start. I'll try to explain, like I said, the Fiscal Solution product life cycle, and to build upon Philip's introduction and add a few more points as an entrance to today's webinar. So as a company, Fiscal Solution initially started by selling the hardware back in 2003, so 20 years now. So, however, we quickly encountered issues with hardware usage and replacement, particularly the lack of unified operations with hardware. We found ourselves needing to switch and change the entire software infrastructure for even minor hardware changes. So this was one of the biggest weaknesses. So inability to replace and implement fiscal printers due to the absence of unified driver. So at that time, back in the days, we were working with, like you see, UPOS standards for fiscal printers, which at that time was the most advanced technology available on the market. As technology progressed, of course, so did Fiscal Solutions. And the next technological advancement was, of course, web services, and which essentially entails functionality executed over the internet, allowing, of course, applications to operate online. So we developed and improved our software solution and make ability to operate via web services. So to recap, we were there when hardware was the main focus, witnessing the evolution of technology, of course, and following and growing and evolving alongside it. Therefore, it was only logical step and logical for us to create a new solution with the support of the, let's say, old technologies, would open all possibilities for all of our clients. So the evolution of technology has now led us to the cloud and our new solution. And please remember this, let's say, slide, because and this journey of ours, because I'll be mentioning this topic in the future slides, as I think it's crucial for understanding how we do and how we progress, like a company. So the first question we need to address at the beginning is why anyone should and would use the cloud. I'm sure there are many of you, individuals and companies, that are still debating whether transitioning to the cloud is a good idea or not. All the points here that are listed on this slide are really the reasons for using any cloud platform. But I'm sure you've seen them 100 times before, and they are pretty much familiar to you. Such reasons like immediate access to real-time sales data, centralized management and monitoring, security measures, redundancy, backup and recovery, and so on and so forth. So these are the reasons really to use cloud. But I would like to highlight maybe two arguments that you can see in the middle of the slide as perhaps the most important reasons why someone should use the cloud at the end of the day. So the first argument is ability to use cloud functions, because you have a lot of cloud functions inside and you can exactly use where and when you need them. So the cloud is big system, of course, with, like I said, various functions like sales, refunds, discounts, receipt design or layout, and so on. So this means you can always call upon any function from the database. And the second one, and most important for me, function is dynamic resource utilization. This means that if you take a function and run it in the info desk, then running the same function with the cash register, standard cash register, and then again on the mobile devices. And if you are a big company, you have 100 stores, everything is possible with a cloud solution. Basically, you can scale your system yourself and you can use all the POS functions anywhere and anytime. This is, of course, precisely the principles upon which our Fiscal Cloud is also developed. That's the reason for using the cloud at the end of the day. And ultimately, all of these reasons are also reducing costs working this way. So this is the reasons why cloud. And now I will speak about why Azure Cloud, why we decided to use it. So question and answer is very transparent and very clear. On the market, there are several cloud providers, like you know, and all of which are very good and very excellent in their work. The top three are Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. We've chosen Microsoft, of course, and the reason are very transparent, like I said. Some retailers prefer not to have a retailer as their infrastructure, let's say, provider, seeing them as a competitors. That's the reason that we didn't choose Amazon like our provider. And for Google, we didn't choose Google because it's banned in some countries. I mean, it's canceled, or how you want to call it, like China. And we didn't want to limit ourselves and limit our market and our projects. So therefore, we opt for Microsoft. And additionally, they really have strong, let's say, programming team, development team, and they are widely used, like I said, and can be utilized everywhere. So we are skipping now to Fiscal Cloud solution philosophy. And for those of you who knows us prior and use us a current solution, let's say the philosophy remains the same as, like I said, with our current solution. And essentially following 4 or 5 biggest and, let's say, key arguments. First argument is simplify integration. Regardless of how the JSON interface appears, it always follows the similar, let's say, structure and architecture. The fields and the values are standardized through the JSON format, making the integration into our solution very, very straightforward. So anyone integrating through JSON format should not need more than 2 weeks. But I will speak about that as well later. So the next argument and the next philosophy that we follow is connected to the simplified integration. So the specifics of the fields that I just talked about and their meanings are defined in the OMG standard. So we chose this standard for the clarity it provides in defining, let's say, what should be in each field. And we talked on this level. So if we were to create this standard by ourselves, we are the company around 70 people, it would rely on the expertise and ideas of only those 70 individuals. So we thought OMG standard and group is involving like 1,000 companies, individuals, including major players like IBM, Epson, and so on. So they're all collaborating to create the standard which is innovating and good for the market. So this let's say, group effort, collective effort ensures a rich source of ideas and knowledge, of course, and we would why would we create a standard when major players and companies are already developing something so innovative and universally accepted? So this is definitely the key philosophy that we follow in our solution. One more important philosophy that we follow is a strict separation between business functions and the fiscal requirements. So we tend to have fewer changes in your POS application and for our POS software partners. It is crucial to have that strict division between fiscalization and the POS. We as a company specialized in the fiscal matters and solutions. If we were to let's say develop and delve into the POS application development, we might be able to produce something decent. Really, we could, but it wouldn't match the quality of our fiscalization work or work of our POS software vendors and their development in the POS side. So large companies as well wants to have autonomy in their operations, and often, of course, they want to have their own POS application. So therefore, we focus especially on the fiscal matters and allowing our partners to excel in their areas of expertise. Already been mentioned the philosophy, one interface for all fiscal countries. We are covering all types of fiscalization, all retail concepts and channels. So definitely we stayed on that course with this new Fiscal Cloud solution. And maybe one more thing to mention is that mission critical functions and reliability. So we follow the philosophy, the POS system must always work, even in the offline scenarios. And I will show you in the next couple of slides what I'm talking about. So when we skip to the next slide, we will see the list of the main features of the Fiscal Cloud. So these are the features and functionalities that Fiscal Cloud offers, and of course, and enables for all of our clients. And some of them I will definitely demonstrate through a demo that will shortly follow. Again, I will mention a couple of more features in the next slides and benefits that we consider unique to our solution, and that you will hear about it as well. So on this list, you can find different functions, so multi-country, multi-company, and multi-brand solution. You will see on my demo comprehensive dashboard for entire subscription, each brand, each company, each legal entity. You will see that. I already mentioned that we support different types of fiscalization. Is it hardware-based fiscalization, software-based, combined fiscalization, online, e-commerce, whatever is needed, we are there to cover it. That's the reason that I put here support of any retail concept. So is it vending machine? Is it e-chargers for automotive industry, e-commerce? Like I said, everything with us is possible. Another thing to mention is unified error handling across all countries. That is very important, because if you're working with us in a couple of more countries, because we have really clients that are, let's say, using our solution, not in one, but a couple and more countries, you always have unified error handling. So basically, if in Italy you have a missing transaction, you'll have, for example, code 1, and then in France, the same numbers. So it will definitely make your life easier. Of course, with the Fiscal Cloud solution, everything is centralized configuration, log storage, centralized certificate management. You will also see that in my demo environment. So this is about our main features, and now I'm skipping to architectures. So we have two types of architecture for our solution. The first one that you are seeing is cloud integration, cloud fiscal service. So the first type, as you can see here on this slide, involves the cash register always being connected to the cloud and always online. So the concept here is that the store or the cash register cannot function, of course, without the internet, online connection. We have plenty of customers doing like that, so it's really possible for them. The next one is concept that involves having a piece of software installed on the cash register, basically locally installed, allowing it to operate in offline mode. So in this concept, I will mention our 20 years of experience in programming, even on the hardware countries, even on the hardware times from the beginning of the story. So if you can recall it. So this component is precisely the component, the local component, fiscal service on this slide, is a component of our solution, current solution, that we already have for all the countries that we are covering. So it was really wise from our side to take this component, modernize it with the elements of the Fiscal Cloud, and then, let's say, give it opportunity to our clients to choose architecture. In this context of architecture, it is important to mention that the same component existing both in the head offices, I mean, in the cloud, and the locally in the store. And why is this important? Because then we are talking about having the same interface and ultimately same technological aspects. Basically, the POS system doesn't know whether it's using the cloud component or local component. Basically, this means we can support hardware-dependent countries, online fiscalization, and online. So in the end, like I said on the beginning, it's all up to you. Throughout the history of our solution, we, let's say, supported both scenarios, like I said, online and offline, and you as a client have an opportunity to decide, are you going to architecture with a local component, full online, or maybe combination of both. So this was a presentation about our architecture, and now we are going to speak about clear benefits of using Fiscal Cloud. This part is, let's say, connected to the elements and functions that we cover, and we consider them unique only to our solution. Of course, there are a lot of functionalities here and clear benefits, but I will, with my presentation, let's say, mark 5 of them or 6 of them. That's the time that Philip told me that I had. So basically, first one is concurrent support for multiple versions. So for large systems and tier 1 customers that we have, of course, one of the most significant characteristics and problems is that such clients cannot easily implement and switch to a new version of service. Due to the system size, it's not, of course, easy to change services versions on all cash registers in same time, so simultaneously, without encountering significant issues and bugs. And that is the reason is a lack of time for testing processes. So we were practically, let's say, forced to develop a solution that allows our clients to work with the different versions of service, of our service, on different cash register, even in the same store. So just imagine, you have a store with 5 cash register, and 5 cash registers are working on different services. And like I said, why we did develop this? Because transition period from one version to another could take as long as the client wants. You can test as much as you want, and you as a client can release one cash register with a new version of software and monitor all the changes, while all other cash registers continue to operate on the old versions of the service that has been, of course, tested. In essence, we follow the philosophy that I mentioned in the previous slides, and that is the store and the POS must always function. The next, I think, is on the other slide. Yes. The next one is integration with ERP systems and automated discrepancy detection. So integration with ERP system, which can be any system, to be honest, although we refer to like an ERP system. So basically, large companies do not have just one data tracking system, but several ones. For example, one for, I don't know, logistics, one for finance, or one for ordering, for example. So these companies with a multiple, let's say, interconnected systems have bigger problem to follow the discrepancy in the information. So one example is rounding errors. For example, when even minor discrepancy can lead to significant differences in number for large systems. When such discrepancy happens, question is what the company needs to send to the tax authorities and what the company needs to do from the tax perspective. So our system allows integration with all the systems of your company. And what this means exactly? It means you can compare the values reported from the tax authority through our solution with the ERP systems and your financial data. You can see the numbers that are coming from, for example, hardware, fiscal printer, and you can see the numbers that are sent to tax authorities. And then actually, our system allows you to see where the discrepancy lies and what you need to prevent it from happening again. This is really, really important. The third, let's say, point and the benefit that I want to mention is API for VAT rates. So if you as a company works with us in one country or several ones, you as a client integrate our solution, of course, and it's assumed that you as a client knows the VAT rates in that country. And I'm speaking about this function like a new function, a new solution. So we track the law and tell the POS software vendors through our platform which VAT rates must be used in the given country. In essence, POS software vendor can use us as a, let's say, platform to check the correctness of the VAT rates. Even they can ask a question prior to sales and check if the VAT rate is good. Also, if POS provider independently determines the VAT rate, of course, that is possible for some sale, and we see that the VAT rate in the database and see that there is a difference and the error, we alert the client through our solution. You probably everybody know VAT rates changes from time to time and they're not constant. And that's where the great benefit of our platform lies. Now I will speak about, let's say, AI-assisted fiscal GPT. So there's a great buzz. There's a great buzz around this topic and about artificial intelligence in general, and everybody's talking about it. We are definitely not different from others, and we are always up to date, let's say, with the reality and technology. And today I would like to, we had opportunity to hear about this and to see the presentation from our team members on the EuroCIS in Düsseldorf, but I would like to present today another significant benefit of our solution and perhaps go further and show you how it actually works. So generally, in one sentence, we trained the ChatGPT to become fiscal. So all of our documentation and knowledge have been included in artificial intelligence by our consulting colleagues. And in this way, we've given all of our knowledge, all of our expertise to the world absolutely for free. So if you enter on the Google, whatever, ChatGPT, log in and request for extension or part of fiscalization, you can on the left corner, you can find it. You can find their knowledge and expertise for up to 27 countries worldwide. So in our internal testing, the accuracy and correctness percentage of all the information provided by artificial intelligence is over 95%. So just imagine that. Now I'll maybe take a moment and share my screen to show you how it looks like. Sorry. Please, yeah, probably you see my screen because I cannot see the chat and the information. So if you see my screen, you will see the regular chat GPT, and on the left side, you will see the list of fiscalization that we cover and that we are providing with whole knowledge through this Fiscal GPT platform. So France, Hungary, Greece, Ghana, Germany, and all the countries, even Metaverse, all the countries that we are covering. So let's maybe test, for example, Italy, and ask question like which fiscal device must be used in Italy, and to see the result. Basically, I'm hoping for the right answer now. I'm waiting also like you do, and probably I will get some answer. We will see. So basically, everything that we know about fiscalization in Italy and all other fiscalization are here. All of our documentation, know-how, our technical and legal documentation. So basically, everything that we know is here. And of course, you need to ask the right question to get a good response, but you can see by the response for the Italy. RT Fiscal Printer, probably it will be RT Fiscal Server, I hope, yeah, it is. So everything that we know is here, and you can easily access it and easily test it. I didn't want so long answer, but you can see here from the information that it is very comprehensive and detailed. So I will jump again on my presentation and come back to the slides. Let me see, my presentation went off. Maybe, sorry, yeah, no, it's good. So basically, our Fiscal GPT is live. You can test it, and probably now you're probably thinking, well, Danilo has already tested this and asked question for which he's sure he'll get the right answer, and you're absolutely right. I've done that, but that's why I invite you right after the webinar, not during, because you'll maybe miss some other important information, to hop onto Fiscal GPT and test this out yourself, and please send us a feedback about it as well. So this is the fourth one, and maybe the fifth one, which is very also important for the post software vendors, and that is the support from comparing transaction sequencing from the cash register and from the Fiscal Cloud. So every and each post provider has a counter for the sequencing transactions. This usually differs from the fiscal transactions and our counters. So we developed the counter that you don't need to implement. So we are doing the comparison of the transaction sequences from the cash register and from our Fiscal Cloud transaction, and making it looks, let's say, in one module. So this was the story about, let's say, our clear benefits. And now I will take a moment, and definitely the time has come to show you the Fiscal Cloud and how it looks like, of course, to perform some small demo and to, let's say, show you that all of these information that I gave so far are not empty stories. So again, I will share my screen and show you my, give me just a second, show you the Fiscal Cloud dashboard and the Fiscal Cloud platform. So on the first page, you can see simple shortcuts for all of our end users to, let's say, don't have to navigate through this general dashboard. So here you have a basic functions like general specification, device API, and let me just go back. Yeah, probably you're seeing right now that, yeah, dashboard, access token, transactions, and so on. We will start by explaining you everything in detail. So in the general section, you have the option to fill out the profile totally independently with all the necessary information about your subscription, your billing address, and everything else. I will, let's say, underline this section, product info, where basically you can see the version of service that you are using in a specific country. I'm showing you the Fiscal Cloud for France right now, And of course, the good example is France, because it's critical for the countries like France where certification process is involved to always use a solution, let's say the version of solution that has passed certification checks. So on this, let's say, section, you can easily track if you are compliant with what confirmed by what confirmed version by the tax authorities. On the users part, you can create as many users you want for your company and for your subscription. Basically, you as a, let's say, manager of the subscription can create user for your co-workers in different roles. It can be a manager, support, finance, operator, demo, depending from the responsibility they have. So as much as user that you want. We are going further. On the dashboard section, you can see subscription data. And this is the, finally some colors, but definitely you can see subscription, master data telling you how many users you have, how many products in terms of how many fiscalization you have with us, how many legal entities. I will come to that later. In the section important events, you can see where if there were any let's say issues or tickets in past week or today that happened, and in this let's say section you can track and ensure the system works properly and securely. In the transactions, you can see how many transactions you have by month, by today, and so on. The transaction counter today, I mean, the name says it all, indicates the transactions count through the day, and of course by the fiscal workstation, nothing else than the business units, the cash registers, and device activities, how many logins you have today or yesterday, how many created sessions, and how many transactions you made. On these two parts, storage consumption and transaction count, you can easily calculate how much storage you have and how much transactions you have by month, year, day, and so on. Basically, this way you can always monitor your costs. We'll go further on the master data. And in the legal entities, I mentioned the legal entities before. On this column, you can independently, again, create as many legal entities as you want. So you, as a post provider, can have a lot of different legal entities here, meaning different companies, and you can track all them in one dashboard. Everything that I said for the legal entities is the same for the business units. Basically, every let's say of our partners on the Fiscal Cloud can create the business unit, the cash register by themselves. For those who are with us from earlier and using our current solution, they know that the process is a little bit different. You need to send us the data, we need to send you the license and so on. So basically, it's really easy to do this. Device, like I said, refers to service that you are using in the country. I will not stop there for a second. And now the system, let's go to the system. So the countries where the tax administration and authorities provide certificates and send them, like Slovenia and Croatia, the relevant certificates will be automatically, let's say, uploaded here. For other countries, we will manually import the certificates as well. So in the system, you can see certificates, you can see the transactions, sorry, that you have. Even you can also examine the transactions. For example, transactions end on the day, you can click on the action and see and view JSON formats. You can easily edit it, so it's really easy to use, and you can easily check every transaction that you have. When we speak about API access token, that is nothing else than the token used to log in. Of course, you can change it, change the password, and so on. And the storage browser is, of course, for checking your logs. And now we are coming For me, the most important thing, and of course for you guys will be as well, and this is products. Here you can see the fiscalization in France, and of course, this is the demo for France right now. And all of our clients that are right now and using and listeners who are doing business with France will definitely know what is JET, what is Archive and Integrity Check for France. And all of these are connected to the platform and to the Fiscal Cloud that you are getting. Here, what is important here to mention is two things. First one is this question mark on the right top corner, where you can find the documents about our solution and about integration. So basically, everything that you need to know about our device API is here. You can open it and you can find the strings, the communication flow, the logs, the response, and so on. So very, very comprehensive information. To go back and to, let's say, mention one more important thing, when I go to the fiscalization France, you will see education France. Here, you can see all the information, all the documentation that we have recorded from our technical and legal consultants. So basically, everything from the introduction, from the requirements, from the business processes, certification, because it's, of course, in France is mandatory, technical part, everything is here, and of course, for free. I will come to that part later. And of course, reports, I will skip that. You can use reports for subscriptions. If you paid good attention on my presentation earlier, ERP system comparison, you can do that as well here. Storage reports about how many storage you have, sales revenue, and so on. So I will stop sharing right now. This was the short demo, and I will let's say, go a little bit further. Let me see. Now I will speak about our partner program. So basically, as we approach the end of the presentation, I would like to further explain the story behind our new partner program. So as you have already heard from Philip, of course, and know about us, we are on the market in the retail for 20 years, directly tied to the retail. Retail is our life, and we built our business around it. Of course, fiscalization is our domain, and we are particularly specialized there. Essentially, we have two groups of users, retailers and post-software vendors, and they are integrating our solution in theirs. So until now, our strategy has been focused on selling our solution to one of these two groups, and we are by that solving the problem of fiscalization. So it is fine. You have a problem, we have a solution, and everything is great. However, we realize that in this path, we'll be making a crucial mistake, and in this approach, of course, and the mistake was that our clients couldn't grow. So our mindset has recently changed. The POS provider is no longer a client for us, but a partner who we help to grow through our solution. So, of course, as our partner grows, so do we, of course, and we realize that if POS provider sells more, we will be also earning more. So I will shortly explain and give, let's say, information about, from our perspective, what the POS provider needs to grow globally. And probably you will agree on some of the mentioned things with me. So innovation, of course, if you don't innovate, you lose clients because your retailers and markets demand it. Everybody wants to have flexibility and to cover various retail concepts. Retailers are always looking for and finding the new concept like self-checkouts machine, vending machines, and so on. And if you, as a POS provider, are not flexible and do not support different retail concepts, your end customers will go elsewhere, of course. Globalization is also a key because the retailers are expanding their businesses and they want one partner for all countries. a partner that can lead you and lead them through the expansions and cover different specific requirements in the countries, such as tax laws and fiscalizations as well. Your partners and retailers want somebody who knows about the country specifics, and of course, for you as a post provider, even if you know certain requirements, again, you will have to decide whether you're going to develop your solution by yourself or take existing ones. I'll say that easy and fast integration is definitely a key for everybody, not only retailers but post software vendors, but for us as well, because we are integrating. You are integrating our solution, and if you integrate our solution seamlessly and fast, we will definitely have one more solution on the market. I spoke about clear definition between POS requirements and the business requirements. Nobody wants to change the POS application, and if you as a POS provider has lower and fewer changes on the POS, that is better for you, of course. And the next two things, of course, is very important, and that is the maintenance and monitoring. They are, let's say, connected. So developing the solution is not enough. You need to maintain it. You need to follow the law and monitoring the law from both sides, technical and legal. And of course, on the end, you need to have flexible financial model. In terms, you need to have flexible because you need to support, let's say, even small customers and then the large projects as well. So you need to be flexible there. And on the end is support in the sales process. Basically, even if you follow all these steps and have already a financial and flexible financial module, you have a solution. At the end of the day, you need to sell to somebody your solution. So I will, through this, let's say, short table and simple table, want to clearly outline the responsibility on our side and what would you need to do to be ready to offer the solution on the market. So at the first glance, you can see that there's many more items on our side, on the left side. And I mean, it should be like that, of course. The first thing that you see is knowledge. So many of you who are with us today are familiar with our workshops that we offer in our portfolio, usually at a certain price, where we provide you with all the necessary legal and technical knowledge about the specific country, and that is fine. On the other side, in our partner program, you see the entire workshop, both legal and technical, completely free of charge. As you saw while I was presenting the demo on the Fiscal Cloud solution, we recorded all material from the workshop, and you can absolutely use it for free, not only in development phase, but also in other project phases. In addition to that, I also showed you through a demo and through the question mark that we included our new, complete documentation needed to understand the whole story about fiscalization and to understand how to do the integration at the end of the day. Here we talk again, as I showed, not legal, not technical, but both, and also the business modules. So we are not only talking about technical laws itself, but about specific processes, how to do the diplomatic sales, how to do the vouchers, how to handle it. We are speaking about that in precise and in details. So these first two points are certainly related to the knowledge. So knowledge and, of course, documentation. But you need, of course, tools to do the integration, and we are giving you free access to our environment where you can integrate everything and test it in the end of the way. So now we are come to the topic of the sales process. This is the last point, was on my previous slides, and how we are helping you to do your sales process. With 20 years of experience in retail and fiscalization, we have a big network of clients, partners, and leads. And now we can help you to sell or at least make your sale process easier by promoting your company and making your visibility better through already, let's say, closely qualified leads who are precisely your audience and potential projects. So basically, we are giving you the information about our customers, partners, followers through our social networks, through our podcasts, through our webinars, and we are giving your information and information about our partnership through our channels, mailing, podcasts, and as well. So to summarize, you get the knowledge, you get the documentation, you get the necessary tools and the development environment, and it is all completely free. And of course, in addition to that, we are helping you to sell and to be visible on the market. After that, of course, there are a few things on your side. The integration process is on your end, like it's stated here. And right now, I can speak from experience that we have had with our clients so far. So typically, 2 weeks is totally enough to do the integration itself. And finally, like I said, sales support through our partners and networks that we have built over these 20 years of work. So you still haven't paid anything until your client makes the first transaction. So even if you sign the agreement with your client, you don't have to pay anything until your client starts production. The financial module, like I said, is based on pay-per-transaction principles. So it means you have no costs in no payment upfront. Only when you and your client earn money, a part of that money goes to us for our solution and for our support, let's say. So to summarize, on the end, the entire presentation and my story about our Fiscal Cloud solution and our partner program benefits. We have a lot of benefits for our partners. First one is that you have access to skilled professional, over 20 years of experience. You have a reliable, innovative, cloud-based solution for 14 countries. We are fulfilling all the fiscal requirements easy and fast because we have a knowledge, easy integration, that is very important. No changes on the post logic on the post side. And of course, we are giving information about your application, about your company, and about our partnership through our communication channels. To finish by saying that no upfront investment is required, and you pay as you sell your solution because module is pay per transaction. So I see that I have managed to do the whole presentation on time. Thank you everybody for listening to me. I see that a lot of questions were in chat box. We will definitely see that as well after that. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for, let's say, covering and following our work. And thank you, Philip, again, for participating with me on this webinar. I hope I gave the insight. I hope that I gave valid information and detailed information and showed you how our Fiscal Cloud is working, and that the story and the buzz about it are real, and that you can, of course, check it for free and enjoy it and see if it's worked for you.
Thank you, Danilo. Again, thank you. You explained everything very well. You explained everything in detail. You even showed Fiscal Cloud and Fiscal GPT to our attenders. So thank you very much again. As I see, there were a few questions in the chat box, but as I see, our CEO Darko Pavic and our co-founder and board member Roland Zaliszewski already answered all of your questions while Danilo explained everything.
Great.
So, so guys, I want to say thank you all for being here today with us. I hope it was interesting and it was useful. I want to tell you, because there were a lot of informations which is very important to you. Of course, we are going to put this recording, this video of this webinar on our YouTube channel, and we will send you the link, of course. I would like to say for the end that you can follow us on our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X and YouTube. Also, I will invite you, as Danilo mentioned, to try Fiscal GPT. You can ask anything, and I assure you that you will have the answer that you need. So thank you guys again. It was great being here today with us. And of course, Danilo, thank you again
Yeah.
for explained everything.
Thank you, Philip. And just to underline and emphasize every question, if maybe something is missed through the chat box, we will definitely follow that, and I will send you the information on your email. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys, and have a good day.
Have a good day, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.